Right, so I played around with the storage drawers and I got the autonomous activator working. It's still not filtering items out. One of the things I want is a retrieval node, um, which actually requires a QED to make, which, funnily enough, is the next thing we'll be making. So I figure let's build the QED first so I can get that retrieval node and put that on, and hopefully we can start polishing up the storage system, get it working a bit better, filter out all the items into a loot recycler. And what the loot recycler does is it takes the items that you put into it and generates loot bags from them. I don't exactly know, but I think it only takes items that can spawn from loot bags, so you can't just have a cobble gen set up and just feed it a bunch of cobble to get infinite loot bags for free. You would have to set up something that generates stuff that comes in loot bags, like coal or string or stuff like that. Anyway, so for the QED, first of all, let's have a look at the quest. So we need the actual QED and then 12 Enderflux crystals. So Enderflux crystals, just these little platform things. And then what happens is you just place the Enderflux crystals around the QED in the middle, and then that gains power from them. So the more of them you have, the quicker the crafting goes, but I don't know how much I'm actually going to use the table, so I won't go crazy on building those things yet, but this is one of the basic building blocks for this thing, is this Ender infused obsidian. So it's just obsidian around Ender pearls, so we'll make a few of those. And then another thing is the Eye of Ender, which is a standard Minecraft thing, Ender pearl plus blaze powder. Write it in. Yeah. So another thing we're going to need is 4 Ender diamonds for the QED. So grab that, and a computer from Computer Craft. I haven't actually done anything to do with Computer Craft before, so that would be interesting. So I put the computer in the middle, surrounded with 4 Ender diamonds. This is burnt quartz, which is just quartz blocks put in the furnace and it burns them. So we get our diamond etch computational matrix. So that's the heart of the QED. So if we chuck that in there, believe it is this. Yep, got it right. So that gives us our QED. Then the next thing will be to oops. Okay, I wanted 12, I haven't made enough. So how many is that? 10. So I need to make another 2, which is another couple. So I have to go get some obsidian. I know I've got enough, so that should be fine. I did find a new piece of armor. I think it's a helmet. I got jump boost now, so I can jump real high. I'll briefly show you this item system. It's kind of covered up, so. But we've got items. They come down from the vacuum hopper into this chest. The chest has 2 transfer nodes on it with filters. So this is an inverted filter, which means anything but these, and that filters anything that isn't a loot bag, and that goes down there, and that pipe basically goes straight down into this chest here, which then gets piped out. Then the other one has the same items, but it's not inverted, so only loot bags come in here. This is the autonomous activator. has the loot bag sneaking right click on this chest, which I can't seem to access. Oh, well. Anyway, so what it does is it simulates the player shift right clicking on the chest with that item, which for loot bags means it opens the loot bag into that chest. And then I've just put one of my survivalist generators here. It seems to do enough to keep up with it at the moment because the system is crappy and we need to add a whole bunch of speed upgrades to actually get it there because it's getting clogged up pretty badly. Anyway, so that both of those things autonomous activator each side, they open items, it goes into here, down the pipes. And what we've got here is a chest that has an item from artifacts in it. I mean, what this pipe is called a mod sorting pipe. So what that means is it will only put items in here from the same mod as the items that are already in there. So I started by putting an artifact mod in there, which means that when it's searching for a place to put the items, if the item is from the artifacts mod, it will go here. So we'll get all of the armor coming through here. And what this one's going to be is for a bunch of items that I don't want, which we will be putting into a loot recycler to make more loot. But what I need is I need a retrieval node on there so that it can pull the items out rather than trying to set it up with the right priorities and stuff. So what I might do as well is put a retrieval node on there because it seems artifact stuff is still getting through for some reason. I don't know if that's just because the system's so slow or what. I'm hoping if I put a retrieval node on there as well, it will actively suck the items out. So even if they get to here, they will get pulled back out into that chest. And then we can deal with them from there. This is going to look so messy because I didn't have a clear plan at the start on how to do it. And so we don't have enough space like that, but we'll get it working first, and then from there we can look at either a new system with upgraded machines that we use, or setting up the platforms with a bit better area for it so that it's not so cramped and it looks a bit nicer. And the main thing is to get it to work, to actually pull out all this crap like this and make sure we're only keeping the good stuff. Right, so for now let's get like 10, 14, that'll do. And I've got a whole bunch of cows now. I need to actually sort them out, so I might set up a platform with all the cows and some fluid tanks to drain them and stuff. There's so many of them. I still don't know exactly how to use all the fluids and stuff, but I'm sure I just need to look it up. I'm sure it's not going to be that hard of a thing. Right, if we just do 2. Now, as far as I know, there is no other use for these blocks, these ender-infused obsidian, than creating this QED. So, what's that? Ender marker. Maybe quarry upgrade. But it always frustrates me when you craft something and they make the recipe have leftover things. So see, I've got 3 ender-infused obsidian, that I can't use, because to make one of these endoflux crystals requires 4 of them, and when I create them 4 at a time. Anyway, let's claim the reward. And that actually reminds me that I need to go through the hearts. Meteorite compass, that is absolutely useless. So what the meteorite compass is for is, in a normal game that actually has a world, you use the meteorite compass to find meteorites, and then the meteorites are from a mod, applied energistics, which these meteorites are made of sky blocks, and they have a chest in the middle, and then in the chest they have the plans that you need to create some of the items from that system. Now, because we are not playing on an actual world, there are no meteorites generated, and we can't get those logistics that way. We have to, they've added recipes to actually make them, whereas in the normal applied energistics, you have to find them, you can't actually craft them. So a meteorite compass is absolutely useless for us. Right. Okay, so these hearts that we get every now and then, what they're for is when you create a full one, and you can just craft them together, so when you eat it, you get another life. So if I have a look now, I've got 3 lives. Oh, I've got one. Oh, okay, because it's opened it up, and I've done this just because I got one from a loot bag. I didn't actually do anything. So yeah, these are the next 2 things that I actually want to do. So it's nice that they're some of the next ones. So I want to make these speed upgrades, which will speed up the item transfer nodes for the mob system. And then the other thing is the assembly table. Not for anything in particular, but just to have it done. So the QED will sit here, and then the assembly table will sit on the other side. So for now, let's do 3. Right, now we've got this. So to make a retrieval node, which is 2 transfer nodes. Yeah. As you can see, it goes. It's fairly slow. Like, this is a really basic thing that I'm making, and you can't actually automate this by pushing things into it. So it's an annoyance to use, but you use it to make some of the more powerful things. Anyway, we've got this retrieval node. Let's go see if we can make it work. Yeah, I still have no idea on the layout to get the loot recycler to actually then push the loot bags back into one of the autonomous activators. So it's going to be such a mess of pipes and everything all over the place for now, but I've actually put the... If we chuck that there, now it's going to start pulling in all those items. I'm hoping that it will free up storage drawers and just, yeah, and actually suck these items out of this chest in here as they're coming through, so they don't they don't go through that whole searching process. So we've got this node right here, and you can see searching, 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 searching. And because the pipe goes so far away, it takes ages to get there. There we go, it's pulling the arrows out. That's nice. And that should tidy up some things. Now you can see, don't know if, no, I don't think. But what else I'll do is, I'll be adding more chests with, well, more retrieval nodes anyway. I think I can get away with putting some on all the different sides underneath and etc. So I'll make a couple more of those at some point. Put the gunpowder back. So as you can see, we've still got so many loot bags to go through. That plus these ones in here, plus everything that's still up on the slime island. So yeah. Alright, here's my crossbow. Let's get this. Now I know there's a point over here. If I stand here, the experience should come through. Yeah, it's not this time. You can still see this is massive backlog. It's not processing the items quick enough. There we go, there's experience campaign. Book no transfer node here. Right. And so that's the QED done. Item retrieval node works nicely. Let's have a look. What do we want to do now? Do we want to do syndication? What is it? Oh my god. Electrotine. Ruby, diamond, yeah. And the lasers. Okay, got heaps of that. Don't have any dark steel yet. No rubies. And get rubies from crushing netherrack. Okay, so what I might do is set up a big automatic sieving operation, automatic smelting. It should be set it up in this part here. Extend that smelting platform. I think that's what we'll do. Extend this platform across here. Set up some sieves and things. I think I need some hammers. I can actually make hammers yet. Yep, I can make invar. I can make anvils. And pressure plates, everything like that. Yep. Cool. So that's what I'll do. That's just a whole bunch of crafting and stuff. I might do that off camera because I haven't really done that before, and it will take a bit of trial and error to set up all the automation. What I might do is try and automate the smeltery first to make ingots, and so I think I might actually be having 3 smelteries. So I'll have one over there, just a tiny one, that makes iron. I think I can do gold as well. I think this gold horse armor can be melted down. So I might do iron and gold ingots over here from the loot bag stuff. Then this will be the sieving, melt everything down, turn it into ingots. And then I'll have another smeltery, which will be my smeltery for doing manual stuff. So, like at the moment, we've got all sorts of stuff in here. So if I just straight away set this up for automatic smelting of all the stuff that comes in from the sieving, it's just gonna process all these, and maybe I don't want them processed and things like that. So yeah, I'll have to have a bit of a plan about that. Extend that platform, give me some area to play with. Another thing will be looking up how best to use the cows. Pretty sure I can just set them up, create a bunch of fluid tanks. So put them in their own 1x1 pen so they can't go anywhere. Put a fluid tank next to it, the fluid tank will fill up. And then, as I believe, if we search for a drum, now, we can't do the bedrockium drum because that's just crazy expensive. It requires bedrockium. You're pretty much at the end of the game when you can make that stuff. But a normal drum is just a whole bunch of iron, which we can do. Now this holds 256,000 millibuckets, which is 256 buckets. And 256 buckets worth of anything is quite a lot. Look, so many cows. I don't even know what. Beetlejuice. Okay. Zinc. A couple of normal cows in there. Kill those guys off. Yeah, the main one is this guy, the Manualin. So that's nice. That's one of the best materials to use to make tools and stuff. I believe once I get all these guys set up and know how to turn them into ingots and things and set up the sieving and stuff, I'll be able to create some pretty good tools, a pretty good crossbow as well. And then once we've got a good crossbow, it's a lot safer to run around in the nether and stuff and actually kill some of the bosses in the game, like the Wither and Gaia and the Ender Dragon and all that sort of stuff. So that'll be cool. Yeah, the other thing is to keep going with the Botania flowers. I believe if I... Oh, let's not do that. That should be another quest. So I think once you've done the flowers and these seeds, that's almost a whole page done. That'd be nice. The annoying thing is all these flowers, there's no reward bags, they're all just chance cubes. So that's the other thing is once I've got a better crossbow, once I've got a better crossbow, we will go and open up a whole bunch of chance cubes in the nether. So in that base that I've set up down the bottom, I believe we can go have some fun, set up a whole bunch of chance cubes and set them off and see what happens. Hopefully, I've got 3 lives. Hopefully nothing too crazy happens. I'll go down with my armor and the crossbow and a bunch of chance cubes and that's it. So that if I die or something, it takes a life off, but I'm not going to worry about losing anything. Yeah. So that's what we've got to look forward to. I do know that, if you watch other people on YouTube playing Project Ozone in Kappa mode, certainly they're going to be a lot more experienced than I am at all of these mods and knowing what they are, and being able to progress a lot quicker than I have. But, this is a bit of a process of discovery for me, and I think that's part of the fun of it, is having the challenge there and not knowing exactly how the whole game's going to play out, so yeah, that's it. I think we're 9 episodes in, and still don't have an automatic smeltery or anything. Just started automating the loot bags. So yeah, certainly not progressing as quick as most people do, but I think I'm happy with the base. I'm happy with what it looks like. I'm happy with all this stuff. I mean, most people don't like the look of cobblestone. I don't mind it too much. I'm not really good at designing things. So, and I looked for a while about looking for cool designs for skyblock bases and stuff, and I mean, it's just nothing out there. So, and I'm not good enough to actually design my own. Not in any kind of reasonable amount of time. I've probably spent weeks and weeks playing around with things before I came up with anything. So yeah, this is it for now. And one of the beautiful things about Vein Miner is that if I do end up with an awesome idea for a base, I can build it and then just vein miner most of this stuff away. Like, so all the cobblestone, all the cobblestone slabs and stuff can go through. So if I do create a new base, then as I move everything out, move all the smeltery, move the storage drawers, all the items and stuff, left with an empty shell, and I can then just come through and destroy it all pretty quickly. But yeah, I don't see that really happening. I think if I come up with a really cool layout for a base, I would probably start again and try and focus on building that base more than progressing through the thing if I could. Man, there are a lot of cows in there. I think those two are Constantan. What do you think? Yeah, so I mean, depending on how the progression goes with this playthrough will really dictate whether I play it again. Certainly, it being 1.7 instead of 1.10, the Minecraft version, has... I don't like that. I like playing with the latest versions, and my other games have all been in 1.10, which is basically the latest version that you can play with a decent amount of mods. The latest version of Minecraft is 1.12, but most mods have been targeting 1.10, so that's what I've been playing. And yeah, so I'm not particularly happy to be sitting on 1.7. And yeah, Project Ozone is pretty much the only reason why I would do that, or I am doing that. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of other things I don't like about it, like having to use Windows for it and stuff. But yeah, it's possible that there could be another playthrough. It just depends on how much I learn going through and how much I feel like it might change my playthrough the next time. I certainly wouldn't just play through knowing that I can do it quicker, but if I think I can have a cooler base layout and do do a lot more automation and fun ways and things like that, then yeah. But for now, let's just keep going, and I'm going to be slow. Okay,